30 seconds. Hoynes, he's nervous. He's sweating. He's trying to remember that opening line of his rant. It's in there. I know it's in there.
It's in there somewhere. Hopefully.
The worldwide headquarters of More Sports and Les Levine on a Monday night. It's a brand new week. Good evening, everyone. Welcome once again. More Sports and Les Levine exclusively on cleveland.com. Also exclusively on cleveland.com is Hoynesy. Yeah. Paul Hoynes. Hoynesy, we're not in Kansas anymore.
I know. This is beautiful, man. What am I doing here?
You don't know where to look, but yeah. we'll get through for the next hour. This is like spring training for you.
That's exactly
Getting ready to
right.
go. Pitchers and catchers just reported, you and I.
Got to get my adverbs in shape.
Yeah. Hey, nice adverbs. 216-575-0403. Lots of stuff going on with the Cleveland Browns and well, actually not much stuff going on with the Cleveland Browns, which is news in itself. And Hoynesy's going to talk about the fabulous outfield the Indians look like they're going to have. Well,
boy,
maybe not. Maybe not.
Boy, oh boy.
We'll show you the projected lineup if the season were starting tomorrow.
I could do without seeing that.
Oh, come on. Let's have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Ohio State making some news. We'll be talking to Stephen Means of cleveland.com momentarily and find out what's going on down there. Brian Day, in his first week, made some changes.
Oh, yeah? So with the staff, the coaching staff?
Coaching staff. How about that? You're on equal footing, offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, sort of equal, and then one gets the big job and the other one says, where am I?
Adios, muchacho.
That's pretty much. You can reach us at 216-575-0403. That is our number. And you can also email us during the show at reallesslevine@gmail.com. So that's new. You see it at the bottom of your screen. Phone number remains the same, 216-575-0403. Hoynesy, when I started this 23 years ago, the opening night, we said we have a phone number. It's just a temporary one. Don't worry. Well, 23 years later, it's the same phone number.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody wanted it apparently. So we'll talk to Stephen Means down in Columbus. In fact, we're going to do that right now. Stephen Means of cleveland.com. Hello, Stephen. It's Les Levine and Paul Hoynes tonight. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Great. Well, listen, little activity in the coaching staff today. Give us a brief overview of what Brian Day did today.
Well, for starters, he hired Michigan's defensive line coach, Greg Madison, who's been a coach for over 40 years in the business at both the NFL level and the college level. So he started the day off with that, and then about 15 minutes after that, we found out he hired another guy, this time from the NFL ranks, by the name of Jeff Hafley. Ryan Day and Hafley actually coached together when Ryan Day was with the San Francisco 49ers, which is where Hafley has been for the last 3 years as the defensive back. Those two will share defensive coordinator as co-defensive coordinator, sort of like how Greg Schiano and Alex Grinch did this year. But Alex Grinch is now in Oklahoma as the lone defensive coordinator. Now, Greg Schiano is unemployed.
Hafley actually coached a couple of years under Mike Pettin here in Cleveland, right?
He did, and Brian Hartline was actually a receiver at the time that Hafley was there. And Brian Hartline gave his rounding input on how he thought about Hafley, along with a lot of other guys. Tyvis Powell, who was a former Ohio State cornerback, DB himself, and plays for the 49ers right now. He gave his words and had some good things to say about Hafley as well. So you've got one old guy and one guy who's primarily younger.
Stephen, we had the resume of Hafley, and it's interesting because here you got Michigan there. It's kind of weird to see Michigan and Ohio State merging here.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, this is the second time that Michigan and Ohio State have kind of traded like coaching staff. Don Brown used to be at Ohio State. Now he's at Michigan. And well, we've got Greg Madison now from Michigan, who was the defensive line coach for the #1 defense in the country the last 3 years. And now he's at Ohio State.
What happened to the rivalry? Is there no rivalry anymore?
Of course, there's always going to be a rivalry, but I think this is just coaches trying to. If you can always steal a good guy from your rival, why not steal the good guy from your rival who might know some things?
Well, if you're going to steal him,
inside information on the team up
if
north.
you're going to steal him, don't steal the bad ones. You don't want to do that. All right, tell me, Greg Schiano is out. Tell me how that happened and why that happened.
Yeah, I don't think that comes as a surprise that he was out. The defense in totality had a very up and down year, and it really kind of hit a bottom point in the game against Maryland when they allowed 51 points, and Dwayne Haskins had to pretty much have a Heisman-type day for Ohio State to pull out an overtime win against a team they had no business being that close to. I don't think anybody's surprised that Greg Schiano is no longer here. There are some other guys who are still on that defensive coaching staff that a lot of us feel will also be gone, Bill Davis. But as far as Greg Schiano, I think that was one of Urban's guys. I didn't think that Ryan Day would keep him on. I definitely thought he would be one of the guys that would be gone.
Yeah, we're talking to Stephen Means, so Ryan Day makes a big splash early on. What does this do for recruiting, and negatively or positively?
I think so far it's been a positive thing recruiting-wise. First of all, you bring in a young guy who's been at the NFL level the last 3 years. You bring in another guy who's a 42-year vet at this and has proven that he can, run a defense and run it very well. He did that at Michigan. Twice now he's done it at Michigan. And I think from a recruiting standpoint, Ryan Day's already shown that he can recruit. He brought in Jack Harrison, a 5-star defensive lineman, from literally 15 minutes down the street from where Ohio State's campus is. He just brought in Justin Fields, who was the number 2 ranked quarterback in the country going into Georgia. He just brought him in as a transfer. I think Ryan Day's got a pretty good track record in this month or so since he's started to take over duties as the head coach.
Right. Yeah, you can't lose a 5-star recruit from 2 miles away from campus, so they got that one right.
Yeah, Jack Harrison's final 3 choices reportedly came down to Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. So to keep that at home and have him play under a guy like Larry Johnson, who was also promoted today. He's been the defensive line coach. He was just promoted to associate head coach today. Larry Johnson has coached a lot of really good defensive ends at Ohio State, whether it's the Bosa brother, Tyquan Smith, and now he's got Chase Young, who's probably going to have an All-American type year next year. To get another guy to keep that lineage going of dominant defensive ends at Ohio State was a big get for Ryan Day.
Talking to Stephen Means, cleveland.com in Columbus. Paul Hoynes is here. I'm Les Levine. The quarterback you mentioned on Fields transferring from Georgia, what does it mean? Are they going to hand him the job or pretend that they've got a quarterback controversy, or how's that going to go?
I think it's going to be a really fun spring. I don't think Justin Fields is here to not play. It's the reason why he transferred in the first place, because he did not win the job at Georgia. Jake Fromm was able to keep his job, so he transferred. He comes to Ohio State. Dwayne Haskins is off to the NFL, as we all expected. He'll probably be a top 5 pick. It's going to be an interesting battle between Justin Fields, Tate Martell, and Matthew Baldwin, but especially Justin Fields and Tate Martell. Tate Martell is definitely under the impression that this past year was Haskins' year. He said that to me. He said this past year was Dwayne Haskins' year. He completely understood that. And next year is going to be my turn to come in and see what I can do with this Ohio State offense. I think Justin Fields changed that a little bit, because my opinion is both of these guys will not be on this roster at the end of the spring. Whichever one is not starting will not be here. And I think right now Justin Fields has the edge to be the starter.
All right, well, Ryan Day has something on his hands right from the beginning, and it'll be put to the test. Stephen, we appreciate your time tonight, and we're looking forward to working with you in the very near future. Good to talk to you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
you. Stephen.
Stephen Means down in Columbus with Ohio State. Well, a lot of activity for January. While they're having the silly little football game for the national championship, Ohio State's making some changes.
Yeah, that's the new coach. You figure something's going to happen.
Absolutely. 216-575-0403 is the number to call. Our thanks to Stephen Means of cleveland.com. Let's check out MS&LL headlines for the day. Brought to you by Northfield Park, your home for live and simulcast racing. Haskins to leave Ohio State, as you see right there. Haskins is leaving, but Greg Schiano is leaving. And Haskins makes it official. He's going to the NFL. And interesting news, the Browns have told Mike McCarthy, hold on, we're going to put our meeting, which was scheduled for Thursday, we're going to put that on hold. What do you suppose that means? They're not interested in him at all?
Well, maybe
anymore?
they got their guy.
Or maybe they got their guy.
Maybe they got their guy and they're going to make an announcement in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I don't want this going for months.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they've talked to like 40 guys in 2 days, doesn't
Right.
it seem like?
It seems like it. 216-575-0403 is the number to call. Speaking of 42 guys, that looks like the amount of outfielders who can't play at the major league level that'll be showing up at Goodyear. Help us out on that, and we'll delve into it a little bit more. But they can't possibly go into the season like that.
Well, they don't have one guy that is a regular outfielder.
Right.
You know, since Michael Brantley signed with Houston and left through free agency, they don't have a starting outfielder. And, you know, I know Naquin started over 100 games in 2016, and Allen started close to 90 games last year, but they don't have like a run producer.
No.
You know, it's frightening. And I don't know, unless they go through free agency, how they're going to improve that, unless, you know, they're going to trade one of their starting pitchers. I don't see how you do that unless somebody falls through the cracks and you're able to sign them to a one-year deal.
Or you think your pitching is so strong you don't have to give any of them up and still run up a big lead in the Central Division. Just even with that outfield, it looks pretty weak to me.
Well, the one thing, in 2016, they went to the World Series by platooning at all three positions because Brantley was hurt. But, you know, they haven't had that much success doing it that way the last couple of years. I mean, Brantley stayed healthy last year, but, you know, their outfield has been a weakness.
Okay, we've talked about this for a couple of weeks. Last time you were here, I believe you said that the guy who's the prototypical Tito Francona guy is Marwin Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Is that a guy, now once the dominoes fall when the big boys sign, is he somebody you think they'll go after?
I think he's going to be too expensive. I really do. This is a guy that's, you're not going to get him on a one-year deal.
No.
And this is a guy that's a 2 or 3 year, you know, type player, but he's the ideal player to me. He can play second base. When Correa got hurt at shortstop, he went over and played shortstop. He can play second base.
Didn't complain?
Didn't complain. He produces, and he can play, you know, center field. He can play, I'm pretty sure he can play all over the outfield.
216-575-0403 is the number to call. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/More Sports and Les Levine with new items posted each and every day. We'll, if you are counted on and voting, we'll get your picture and your email name and move it on. Facebook.com/More Sports and Les Levine. Paul Hoynes is with us. We'll take a break. Bud Shaw will be here tomorrow night, and we'll tell you more when we get back. More Sports and Les Levine exclusively on cleveland.com.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program has been recognizing role model students and teachers since 2007. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to OhioLottery.com. In the About section, find Supporting Education. There, you can nominate students in kindergarten through 12th grade as academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as the Teacher of the Month. Every school that participates is eligible for the School of the Year. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
I had bad credit, so I wasn't able to get a bank account or a credit card. My life is so busy, I don't have time to be standing in line to cash a check.
That's why we created the NetsBand Prepaid MasterCard. It puts you in control of managing your money.
I can get my money up to 2 days earlier than everybody else. I don't have to wait till the end of the week to get paid.
Order now at no cost and get paid up to 2 days faster.
Call 1-800-644-0772.
Call now and you can choose your card design.
On cleveland.com. Birthdays for today: Johnny Mize, Big Slugger, Bell Tower, 1947, Alfonso Soriano, Edwin Encarnacion, former, remember when he played the good old days with the Indians? Right. John Lester, who for some reason cannot throw the ball to first base. And Lamar Jackson, who celebrated over the weekend his last time of being an effective quarterback.
That's right, yeah.
I think they're on to him. They're on to him. Paul Hoynes with us. Hoynesy, at about, for those who haven't seen Hoynesy before, at about 10 minutes to 7, I'm assuming it'll be a classic rant. They're all classic rants with Paul Hoynes. You were on vacation?
Yeah.
Where's the tan? No tan?
Yeah. Well, I stayed out of the sun.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. 216-575-0403. All right, the Indians did add a catcher, and we'll take a look at him and his stats, which are not all that impressive. Kevin Plawecki is the name with the New York Mets, 27 years old. And you see it right there, first-round draft pick. I think number 14 in the nation, right? In 2012, entering his 5th season in the major leagues, and hit .210, 7 homers, 30 RBIs in 2018. But here comes the kicker. Threw out 23% of his would-be base stealers. That's not good.
That's not good. But I think Perez. It sounds like Roberto Perez is going to get the bulk of the playing time. I think I feel better about the catching situation after this trade, simply because it's tough to go in with Perez and Eric Haas, a rookie,
right,
who's only played maybe
a handful of games
last September. If Perez gets hurt, then what do? You've got a rookie running the staff, and so I think Perez, at least we know defensively he can handle the staff. He can control the running game. I think if he gets more at bats, I think he's going to hit hopefully better than he did last year. So this guy is an established backup catcher, or he's caught in the big leagues. He's played parts of 4 or 5 seasons. He's been around. He has a good reputation for handling pitching staff.
Hoynesy, if that's the biggest move the Indians make in the offseason, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston,
New York, and Boston, we have a problem.
Yeah, I mean, they've got some work to do.
Yeah.
They really do.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to BP, who's in Pepper Pike. BP, go ahead.
Hey, Les and Paul, how you guys doing tonight?
Terrific.
Good,
how are you?
Good.
I hope I'm allowed to talk Browns coaching search, even though Hoynes is there.
Hoynesy knows more than anybody about coaching searches. Fire away. We'll put him to the test.
Keeper in Tito, so I don't know. But I wish they had the football version of Tito.
Tito.
I just heard a report from the fan that Mike McCarthy's probably not on the Browns list at this point.
Yeah, what we had heard is that the Browns have put his meeting on hold, and that can't be good if you want Mike McCarthy here.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Bruce Arians has been hired by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So
they haven't announced it, but that appears to be the case.
I'm sorry?
That they haven't announced it, but that appears to be the case.
Right. So two out of my top sort of senior candidates, guys, with experience, are off the board. I just hope Dorsey knows what he's doing here and isn't winging it. Yeah.
Well, Hoynesy, you hear about general managers in all sports that they have that magical list in their hip pocket, and if they ever had the opportunity to use it, they got it ready to go. It looks to me like they're falling off. The list is kind of falling off for John Dorsey.
Yeah, I've been impressed. I mean, they were obviously prepared for this. I mean, because the number of candidates they interviewed, and they did it in quick fashion. So they had these guys lined up. I think they probably had a pecking order. They have to have a favorite amongst the people they've talked to, and I think they'll probably make a decision pretty soon here.
BP, does it surprise you that 6 or 7 people are on the committee, including Dee Haslam?
I don't know, Dee has them. I know it was, Jimmy has them, and then the son-in-law, JW. I didn't hear Dee's name. I heard it's 6 people total.
Yeah,
so,
do you think that's normal? Hoynes,
Jimmy and Dee count as one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Hoynes, do you think that's normal these days, 6 or 7 people on a search committee for each and every candidate? Seems a little overdone.
Yeah, I have no idea. I would think, it's your money. If you're the owner, you want to sit in on the interview, yes. But I think, Dorsey. It sounds like Dorsey's the guy that makes the final.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if Dorsey's not intimidated, but if he's the same with 6 or 7 other people in the room, or if it's a problem for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you wanted to talk one-on-one with those guys, you'd probably pick up the phone and if they wanted a second interview. But I think the cachet he's built up this season.
So far, you got to trust the guy, right? Yeah, you got to trust him. Anything else, BP?
Yeah, I really like the new guy, the new Cavs campaign, Cameron Payne.
Why? What do you know about him?
No, I'm just kidding. He's,
that's what I
what
figured.
do you think about what the Cavs did with Patrick McCall, then they brought on this Cameron Payne guy?
I have a theory on that and what Hoynes goes through when they sign a guy to a minor league contract and they send him out to Goodyear. I think unless he's going to make the team, don't even bother announcing it. Just, maybe you can look and say, hey, who's that guy out there in deep center field? But why bother?
Well, now every time they add a player, it's a headline.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if they're on a minor league deal or they're a big league player. It's a story, and it fills some space.
All right. What else?
All I know is that I watched McCaw's debut with the Cavs. He stepped out of bounds 3 times. So.
Well, he's coming in from the West Coast, and it's a shift of the tides, I suppose.
Yeah, it's sort of like Fenway Park, different dimensions. Exactly.
All right, BP, great to talk to you as always. 216-575-0403. You can email during the show at reallesslevine@gmail.com. Paul Hoynes is with us. Northfield Park is your home for live and simulcast racing. They've got it Monday through Wednesday as well as Saturday evenings with a 6 p.m. post time and open early every day at noon for simulcast action from the top thoroughbred and harness tracks all around the world. You can enjoy free handicapping contests all weekend long, including the popular Road to the Derby contest on Saturdays beginning on January 19th and the weekly Sunday contest featuring Gulfstream Park. It's free admission, free parking every day at Northfield Park. We'll take a break and come on back. More Sports and Les Levine continues exclusively on cleveland.com.
Your basement is damp, dirty, and not somewhere you want to spend time. Let Naturestone Flooring transform your basement into a true extension of your home. Naturestone's proprietary hydrostatic ports allow water to simply evaporate, so no mold or mildew. Plus, it has a higher insulation rating than carpet and is warmer than linoleum, vinyl, wood, or tile.
Schedule your free in-home estimate easily online today and get up to 50% off.
Naturestone is the affordable basement floor solution that beautifies your home. Naturestone, the only concrete solution.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget. Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a line. A long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Hoynes, it's time for a How Come Quickie. How come if hitting coaches know so much, none of them ever led the league in hitting?
Except Ted Williams.
Ted Williams. Well, he was a hitting coach?
Yeah, I think he was
a manager
for
Washington.
Yeah, the Nationals. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they all hit like 120.
You're right. Charlie Lau was a horrible hitter, but he's noted as the
Charlie
the
Manuel couldn't play in the big leagues, had to go to Japan.
How about that? Could you imagine him speaking Japanese to those people?
I think he knew how to speak
Japanese.
Yeah.
I bet you he did. Hey, does Francona speak Spanish?
He might speak a little bit.
Enough to get by with his players?
I think, but I don't think he's real fluent in it.
216-575-0403. Email us during the show at reallesslevine@gmail.com. All right, Hoynes, you ready to take a look at the projected starting lineup for your Cleveland Indians?
Let's take a look.
You're excited, huh?
Yeah.
Well, all right, here we go. All right, no problem here, Francisco.
Yeah, I like that
great
part.
lead off there. How do you like this with Ramirez, at least through August?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we continue on to the third spot. So we doing okay so far, Carlos Santana? All right, then let's see what happens. Here's your cleanup man, Jason Kipnis, according to our projections here. We go to the fifth spot, Jake Bowers. Then we go to number 6, Greg Allen. If you ever told me Greg Allen would be a number 6 hitter in the major leagues, I'd say that's not a very good team. Tyler Naquin. How you doing so far? And Leonis Martin. Need we say anything about him? And then Roberto Perez. All right, Hoynesy, if it stays this way, and I'm going to give the Indians the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say it's not going to stay this way. But if it does, I can't remember a worse lineup with two potential MVPs at the top of it in Lindor and Ramirez.
Yeah, I think in that lineup, I think I'd hit Kipnis second. Francona really likes him in the second spot. But,
Would you lead Santana off as he did last time around?
Against some certain hitters, but I mean, he's the only guy that, at least he can hit the ball out of the park. I think you'd have to hit him. I don't like him in the number 4 spot. He's always struggled in the number 4 spot.
All right, if we look at that lineup, and if we can put it up again, and at the bottom of the lineup, I would think that maybe if you added up the projections, maybe, here you go, with Greg Allen, Tyler Naquin, Martin, and Perez. Are we looking at a total of 25 home runs out of that bottom 4? A total of 25 home runs?
Probably, yeah. I'd probably hit Allen either 8th or 9th.
But the same group of guys.
Yeah, I mean that's
bottom 4.
Who else are you going to play? I mean, Zimmer's hurt, and Zimmer wasn't a day at the beach either.
All right, tell me the word on Zimmer. How long he's projected to be out?
He's out in Goodyear now, rehabbing that shoulder. There's different variation of reports. some people think he won't be ready for opening day, and I think that's probably the legitimate report. That's a report to go by. But Antonetti still thinks he's going to be able to play the bulk of the season.
Okay, because I had heard the All-Star break, but you're saying maybe the beginning of the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna. I don't think he's going to be ready by the start of the regular season. But Antonetti said he should be able to play the bulk of the season, but I don't know where he's going to play the bulk of the season. Is it going to be in the minors or will it be in Cleveland? Because
you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and he's going to have to get some at bats. I don't think he's going to. As soon as he's healthy, he's coming to the big leagues.
All right, let me throw another name at you. We had him. The Indians had him for much of the year, and that's Melky Cabrera. Any chance? I mean, he'll play anywhere.
I think he'd have to come to camp on a minor league deal.
Nobody else interested in him?
I think those are the guys that are going to get frozen out. Remember, he didn't sign till April last year, and it looks like it's a little more active of a market, but not that much. But especially veteran guys, they're getting squeezed again.
Where do you think the big boys are going to go?
I think Machado is going to go to the Yankees. I think I would think Harper's going to go back to the Nationals.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
No bad. I thought there was bad blood there.
Well, I don't know.
But
I think
for
they had
$300 million, it doesn't
matter.
matter.
They had a second meeting with them. They said the offer was more than $300 million. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up back.
Yankees just signed Tulowitzki, I assume as shortstop.
Yeah, but I mean,
what does that do with Machado?
Healthy? I mean,
No, probably not.
I mean, he had 2 ankles, the heels operated.
If he plays short, where's Machado?
Maybe. Well, they're trying to play. He could play third, and they could trade Andujar. The Jose Andujar, I think, their rookie third baseman.
I'll take him.
Yeah, that would be a nice player. I'm probably screwing up his last name, but they've got, so they could do that.
What do you think the number on Machado would be?
I think it's, I don't know if he's going to get 10 years, but I would think, I think, is he going to get $300 million? I don't know.
No, I can't imagine that. I also get the feeling, just watching him down the stretch with the Dodgers, that I could be wrong, but once he gets his money, he relaxes a little bit. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a guy, I think the Yankees, because, he wouldn't have to be the guy.
Right.
He wouldn't have to be the face of the
franchise. And that would be good for him?
Yeah, I think he could
Some guys just don't like, well,
I think just with his attitude and his reputation, that would, because the spotlight is going to be on you no matter what in New York.
Yeah, you can be the eighth hitter in New York.
And Stanton, Stanton hasn't liked it. Giancarlo Stanton has kind of suffered there. So I think if he could just go in there, they've got enough personalities where, he could stay in the background. He's going to be the guy for a while, obviously.
Has there been a guy that signed an 8 to 10 year contract that you can recall, that when it was all over, when it was all said and done, both sides, the player and the team said, yeah, that worked out well for both of us? I can't think of anybody.
I don't think.
I'm including A-Rod in that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of McGuire in St. Louis. I don't know if he ever signed a multi-year deal, but that kind of ended well.
Yeah, that ended well.
Sides.
Pujols has not.
Pujols has not. Sammy Sosa.
Right.
No. And any pitcher probably no.
Yeah, no pitchers.
Maybe Randy Johnson.
Maybe, but you would think nobody got past 5 years
in Arizona with Randy Johnson. That might have ended well.
Yeah, 216-575-0403. Paul Hoynes is with us, and we're getting closer to a Hoynesy rant. Can you just give us not a preview of it, but just what's the topic?
The topic is that life has gotten too easy.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
not for me.
Just my opinion that there's certain things that have made things much too easy.
All right, but 20 minutes or so away from a Paul Hoynes rant, I can guarantee you it's well worth the wait. I have not heard. I've not previewed it. We don't. It's not like a take-home test or anything like that. So, but I guarantee you it's going to be a good one when we get back. 216-575-0403. Paul Hoynes from cleveland.com. More Sports and Les Levine also from cleveland.com. We can follow More Sports and Les Levine on Facebook, going to facebook.com/More Sports and Les Levine with new content posted each and every day. Back in a moment right here on cleveland.com.
Smile.
No matter how well you provide for your family today, if you don't have life insurance, their future may be at risk. Why not help guarantee those you love $250,000 or more with life insurance through AIG Direct? Less than $14 a month buys a 40-year-old man a $250,000 term life policy. That's up to 3 times what you can get from other companies for the same price. Make the future more secure for those you love.
Call 1-800-723-9758.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
Here, let me show you how this works.
it takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
It takes Smiley One Heating and Cooling to bring the heat when things get chilly. Find us at 440-449-HEAT.
Let's take a look at this date in sports history. Hoynes, people have to be your age and my age to know what I'm talking about here. January 7th, 1961, the Detroit Lions beat the Cleveland Browns 17-16 in the runner-up bowl. Do you remember the runner-up bowl?
I do remember.
I do too. Usually at the Orange Bowl, right?
Yeah,
in Miami.
That's the one they played. One year they played the Cowboys, didn't they?
Probably. Well, the Cowboys were kind of an expansion franchise back then, so I don't know how soon they got good. Eddie LeBaron would have been the quarterback.
Yeah, or
Dandy Don Meredith.
Don Meredith was
All right,
the quarterback.
so for those who have no idea what we're talking about, if you finished second in your the East and the West, and you took on, I think it was after the championship game, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You're
like
right.
the week after the championship game, and they would play, and we thought it was an important game, and it was absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
But the Lions won 17-16. You know, going back further, even people older than that, I don't think the young people realize how good the Lions and the Browns were back in the 50s and all
dominated
that. They were
the
both
NFL,
sides
didn't
dominated.
they?
Bobby Lane, the quarterback for Detroit, and I was watching an Art Donovan clip on a Johnny Carson show, and he was saying that Detroit with Alex Karras. There was a quarterback sneak or something, and Bobby Lane came on the ground near Art Donovan, who was playing for the Colts. And they said, and there was a smell coming out of the area, and apparently Bobby Lane used to like to drink at halftime.
Oh, God.
But he was a good quarterback.
You're not kidding. He was a wild man.
He was a wild man, no question about that. All right, somebody emailed me the other day, and they wanted me to ask you about what's going on with the Indians right now, and the fact that Minnesota has added some power in Cruz, right?
Yeah, Cruz, C.J. Crone,
right,
and the kid from Baltimore that went to Milwaukee, Shoup.
Right. So the question he asked was, the assumption is the Indians will run away with the division. Can you make that assumption now?
No.
Did they get that much better? Did Minnesota and even Chicago get that much better?
I saw where. No, I don't think you can make that assumption that they're going to, they won the division by 13 games last year, and I don't think you can say that this year, just because, of the losses they've had, by free agency and trades. I'm talking about the Indians here, and the additions the Twins have made. The Twins have made, like we were talking about, C.J. Crone. They've got Cruz. They've got Shoup. That's a lot of power in the middle of that lineup. And the big question, of course, is the Twins starting pitching. You don't know what you're going to get, and that's right now that's the Indians' advantage.
Yeah. Now Minnesota loses Mauer, who retired. Is he a Hall of Famer in your book?
No, not a Hall of Famer. I thought he was the best player I'd ever seen for about a 3-year span.
Right.
And but he just tailed off. If you look at his numbers, especially power numbers, he just tailed off at the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years of his career.
He seemed to be a guy who just was content with hitting singles and doubles.
I thought if he stayed a catcher,
yeah, those numbers would be good.
I would have voted for him. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
My guess is he physically couldn't have taken it.
Right, and I mean he had to move to first base, and I think what he did at first base didn't profile as a first baseman.
Well, not only that, did that hurt the franchise for a couple of years that they had to keep him? He was a local kid, and a big star there. Did they hurt themselves by putting so much expense into him?
They may have, but they still had they had a brand new stadium. They had a payroll over 120 to 140 million.
Right.
I don't think it really handcuffed them, but it can. I thought with Cal Ripken and the Orioles, I thought he kind of dominated that team and kind of handcuffed that team.
216-575-0403. Bud Shaw will join us tomorrow. Wednesday, an attorney in Cleveland by the name of Ricky Vellante will be here. He is, Hoynes, this is interesting. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but he is one of the founders of the new basketball league that will take high school seniors, instead of sending them to college, they got their own league that they're going to start out. It'll be a professional league for what would be freshmen in college, and they're going to pay them $125,000, $150,000.
Really?
Yeah. Where do you apply, right?
How? And is it like a feeder system to the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, they may find some, but it's hard to believe that you're going to. It's hard. He's going to be here to spell it out and show me how they're going to be able to make money on it. But it's interesting. They're getting good. I don't want to say good reviews, but they're getting good comments on it because of the one and done in college basketball right now.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is a problem for the system.
Wow.
So anyway, now we'll switch over to football for a minute. You heard us say that Mike McCarthy has been told by the Browns that their meeting will be put on hold. That sounds like a permanent hold, but we'll wait and see. And the Browns apparently will go on with the search without McCarthy, who everybody assumed with the situation as it is with Dorsey here and McCarthy. I had always said, when people would call me on radio or on this show and say, well, they know each other and McCarthy's the obvious choice. Well, you may know each other, but you may not like what they do on the field.
Right, and
just because you work together doesn't mean you think they're the right guy.
Exactly, and obviously he's won a Super Bowl, and that's got to help him. I mean, and maybe McCarthy has got another gig waiting somewhere. Yeah,
and he's had quarterbacks. He had Favre and he had Rodgers, and now it would have been interesting to see how he would work with Baker Mayfield. But another guy is being interviewed, Matt Eberfluss, who coached for the Browns at one time. You may not remember his name. And he will be the next man up, I guess you'd say. And we'll take a look at him. He is 48 years old. And there you see, Ohio guy. Linebacker coach 2008 through 2009 through 10th under Mike Pettin. So there you have it. He was Colts defensive coordinator in 2018. So what I find interesting is it looks like Dorsey's got this list we talked about, that it's all over the place. It's defensive guys, it's offensive guys, it's younger guys, newer guys, or older guys. There's not like, they're from all over the place.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like in some, coaching searches, you bring in guys that might not necessarily be your favorite,
right?
But a guy that you like and maybe you put in the back of your mind from down the line. And, I think they also use it, as a scouting device to get in the heads of what's going on to the other team.
Yeah.
I think that's an information gathering process.
I first learned that when Bill Belichick was here. He would bring in players to work out. He had no reason to want them to play for him, but he wanted to, if they would ever play against each other, he wanted to know where the weaknesses were.
Sure.
And you find out if the guy can throw long or not throw long, or whatever.
Yeah.
So
you're always working.
216-575-0403 is the number to call. Sokolowski's University Inn, you're a good friend of Michael McIntyre, right?
Yes.
From the Plain Dealer and cleveland.com. Wrote a column about Sokolowski's the other day, and Philip Morris did the same thing. There's no place better in this town than Mike and Bernie Sokolowski's University Inn, established in 1923, and they're just the winner of the James Beard Foundation Award several years ago. Only 5 restaurants in the country get that each and every year. Mike and Bernie Sokolowski's University Inn, 5 minutes out of downtown. Take the Abbey Avenue exit, Interstate 71. That's where you're going to find, right under the bridge, Mike and Bernie Sokolowski's University Inn. We'll come back with Hoynes. One more segment to go before a Hoynes rant that we're all waiting for, right here on cleveland.com.
The concrete in your garage is uneven, cracked, pitted, and just plain ugly. Transform your garage into a welcoming entryway with Nature Stone flooring. Reduce tracked-in dirt, eliminate puddling and salt damage. Plus, Nature Stone corrects uneven concrete so you don't have to worry about tripping or slipping.
Call or go to naturestone.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today and get up to 50% off.
Nature Stone is the affordable garage floor solution that beautifies your home. Nature Stone, the only concrete solution.
Introducing LizardCam, the new micro camera that goes anywhere you can't see. With an extra long flexible cable, you can inspect anywhere. The powerful light illuminates even the darkest areas behind your walls. It comes with a hook tip so you can retrieve fallen jewelry down a sink. Plus, it's waterproof, so unclog drains like a pro. Add the mirror tip to find critter hideouts behind the fridge, or the magnetic tip so you can grab loose nuts and bolts that are impossible to reach. Get yours today.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program has been recognizing role model students and teachers since 2007. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Supporting Education. There, you can nominate students in kindergarten through 12th grade as academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as the Teacher of the Month. Every school that participates is eligible for the School of the Year. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
More Sports and Les Levine is now available on cleveland.com. To watch, type in cleveland.com/sports into your browser, then click on the More Sports and Les Levine icon, and the self-proclaimed voice of truth and reason is available 24/7 from any computer. You can watch live from 6 to 7 Monday through Friday, or catch taped editions anytime on cleveland.com. Hoynes, let's take a look at this date in Les Levine sports history. Today, January 7th, 2019, Les applies for clock management position with the Cleveland Browns, even though the new coach isn't in place yet. But this is the 7th time that he felt obligated to apply for that position.
That's your favorite position, isn't it?
It's one that every team messes up.
That's right. You could be whispering in the coach's ear.
You could tell them exactly what to do, and they'll do something else. Does that astound you how it's messed up so much? With all the practicing they do?
I just think the heat of the game has become so intense.
That's why they need me.
Yeah, they need.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm
eating popcorn, drinking a soda.
Don't do it.
Did you watch the football games over the weekend?
No, I didn't. I did not watch. I watched the Colts game. I watched some of the Colts game.
How about the kicker for Chicago?
Oh my God!
Who has hit the upright 5 times this year? If I took you to the old Geauga Lake,
you couldn't do that.
You couldn't do it in a million years.
And it hit the crossbar too. Usually, you hit the crossbar, it goes over.
It's going to pop over. Yeah, instead of pop to the goal line.
This guy, kicker.
You know, it's so funny. I was on 92.3 The Fan today, and we'll be the rest of the week from 10 until 2. Shameless plug, but. We're playing the different calls of each guy. So we started with the first one, and it's Parkey kicking and hitting the upright, and it was Jim Donovan's call of when he did it for the Browns.
Oh, no.
But we played the Chicago version, the Philadelphia version, and then the network stuff. It's interesting how those guys handle it.
Yeah. Oh God.
The Bears guy was stunned, absolutely stunned. 5th or 6th time it happened in a year.
Unbelievable.
Do you remember when the Browns were playing against Baltimore, and they kicked one and hit the upright and then hit the stanchion? Nobody knew what the word stanchion was.
It went through, right?
It went through, but they didn't announce it, make the official call for a half hour after the game.
Right.
Unbelievable. Well, the Browns won so many games in those days, you couldn't tell. 216-575-0403 is the number to call. You have any prediction for football, just as a fan, or any team you'd like to see?
Oh God, I'd like to see the Chargers.
Kind of fun.
Yeah,
that would upset the apple cart a little bit.
See if they could, they got the Patriots, right? They're playing the Patriots. I'd like to see them beat the Patriots.
They keep going back and forth across the country. It doesn't seem to bother them.
No,
they win on the road.
Yeah.
They do all that. And the Ravens, their quarterback, once they're onto him, he's going to be rendered not useless, but not what they thought he was.
And can he run like that? Is he going to be able to run like that?
I can't imagine.
They're running the option, right?
They're running the option. And he can't throw. He may be the worst throwing quarterback ever.
He's a big dude too, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he looks huge. But I mean, running quarterbacks in the NFL, I mean, they have a short shelf life. They don't last long.
Yeah, you get guys 100 pounds. They're not as fast as him, but they hit a lot harder than he does. So it'll be interesting to see. no matter who the coach is for the Browns, you looking forward to next year?
Oh yeah, I think that was really exciting. That was fun to watch. You know, the I love Baker Mayfield. I like the way he plays. I think he kind of inspires that whole team, and I really like the way the defense played. And Chubb, I think, I think that's a team obviously on the upswing.
Right. We were talking about this today, that 2 years ago, when the draft took place, many Clevelanders wanted the Browns to take Mitchell Trubisky, local kid, good player, solid citizen, and all that. Last year, not many wanted Baker Mayfield, if you recall,
right?
Because there are a lot of questions about him. But now, all the people who wanted Trubisky, I'm pretty sure they've come off that. Although he's had a nice year.
He has had a nice year. Yeah, he's done well.
But I would think most people would be very happy with Baker Mayfield. I don't hear a downside on him.
No, I just want Baker to get past Hugh Jackson. I just
whatever you learn,
just
flush it out.
Yeah, and just walk away. I don't get that, but maybe that's what motivates him. But
I'm looking forward to hopefully Hugh Jackson is signed by the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
They must have hated each other.
Apparently, apparently, or at least one of them did. Yeah. Northfield Park. We got a Paul Hoynes rant when we get back. Northfield Park, your home for live and simulcast racing. You've got a place for you to catch the excitement of live harness racing Monday through Wednesday, as well as Saturday evenings with a 6 p.m. post time. Open early every day at noon for simulcast action from the top thoroughbred and harness tracks all around the world. Enjoy free parking or free handicapping contests all weekend long, including the popular Road to the Derby contest on Saturdays, and beginning January 19th, the weekly Sunday contest featuring Gulfstream Park. It's free admission, free parking every day at Northfield Park. A Hoynes rant coming your way when we get back on cleveland.com.
When my dad started Nature Stone, he created a solution for age-old concrete problems: unevenness, cracking, pitting, and more. Nature Stone solves all of these problems in garages, basements, and outdoor spaces. Nature Stone is beautiful, environmentally friendly, and affordable. Plus, Nature Stone is backed by Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty.
Call or go to natureStone.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today and get up to 50% off.
Nature Stone, the only concrete solution.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's Kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget, Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a line. A long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just a mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
More Sports Les Levine is now available on cleveland.com. To watch, type in cleveland.com/sports into your browser, then click on the More Sports Les Levine icon, and the self-proclaimed voice of truth and reason is available 24/7 from any computer. You can watch live from 6 to 7 Monday through Friday, or catch taped editions anytime on cleveland.com. Tomorrow night, Bud Shaw from WKYC.com joins us. We do this live from 6 until 7 p.m. right here on cleveland.com, and of course you can find us any time of the day. Go back and listen and watch to some of the archives. You can do that right here on cleveland.com. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/More Sports Les Levine, with new content posted each and every day. Hoynesy, the technology it's killing me.
Oh, God. What, Facebook?
Facebook, and And knowing your code words and your all that stuff.
I've got a list of passwords this long.
Right.
And I can't remember any of them.
Right.
I got to write them down.
You know them, you just don't know what they're for.
Yeah.
All right, well, I don't care about that. What I care about is if you have done a good job memorizing, or at least coming close to your Hoynes rant for a Monday night, first one of the new year.
Yeah.
So you better be good at it.
Okay.
So with a Hoynes rant, here is Hoynes.
All right. Les, I think things have gotten too easy in this country. Just take buying a car, for instance. I used to shake when I had to buy a car. When the cars I bought, I used to bring my father with me. Then when I got married, I used to bring my father-in-law and my wife. It took hours, haggling, negotiating, pounding the table. And then you got this car, and now these days, it's easy. You can go online and buy a car. You can click on a car and they deliver it to you in 7 days. Or you can go to these Autorama things, put a coin in, like a jukebox, and hit a button, and down comes the car. Like you're ordering like a 16-ounce Mountain Dew. It's where's the drama? Where's the blood, sweat, and tears, Les? Where's the buyer's remorse? Where's that thumping in your head that I get ripped off? Did they do it to me again? And what about James Bond? James Bond comes to one of those car-oramas, puts in a token, and hits a button, he gets a brand new Aston Martin with machine guns in the headlights. Come on, that's not right. And so and if you can compare this, you can compare this a lot to the Indians.
Of course.
For the last 3 years, easy living. They're living in tall cotton. They won 3 straight AL Central titles. In the last 3 years, they've won the division by 48 games. 2016, they won 16 straight. 2017, they won 22 straight. Last year, they won the division by 13 games. Now, where is the pulsating finish? Where is the great stretch drive? Nothing. The Indians won 91 games last year, and they looked like they were bored. They were yawning half the time. Well, that's not going to happen this year, Les. That's not. I think that things are going to be able to change. Things are going to change a little bit. The division, their roster has been ripped apart by trades, cost cutting, and free agency. I mean, look at the people they lost. We were talking about it. Edwin Encarnacion, Josh Donaldson, Michael Brantley, Melky Cabrera, the list goes, Yan Gomes, Yonder Alonso. It goes on and on and on. They don't have one regular outfielder to sit in the outfield. They don't have a guy that can play 120 games. And then, Brad Hand is going to have to channel his inner Goose Gossage. He's going to have to pitch 3 innings every night to get a save. They don't have a setup guy. So, what are we going to do here? It's, if the Indians wanted to, if the front office wanted to do this, if this was their goal to bring the division back to the Indians, to get the Indians' attention, the Indians' players' attention, so maybe they'll look at the standings once or twice a month. They did it. They've accomplished that feat. But just where the Indians are going to be in those standings when they bother to look them up, that's the question. And one more thing. I want to find that vending machine with the cars. And I want to find the token that I need to get an Aston Martin. I'm going to press it, I'm going to get it, but I'm not going to get the machine guns. But I'm going to insist on an ejection seat in the passenger seat.
Well, it's not an Aston Martin, but you got Martine in center field.
That's right. You going to eject? No, well, we don't want to eject him.
No,
I just want to see him play.
Let him be healthy.
Yeah.
Let him be healthy. Well, you did it again. That was a great start. You only have 51 more.
I don't know if I can take it.
Well, we're going to let you go to spring training. We'll let you watch a few baseball games through this summer, but this is now your full-time job.
All right.
Congratulations. Thanks to the great Paul Hoynes. Bud Shaw tomorrow night. Hopefully you can join us right here on cleveland.com. That, of course, is coming your way at 6 o'clock until 7, then watch it all day, all night. We'll see you tomorrow. Of all the shows I've ever done, this was the most recent.